Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'll be showing you what baby carnivorous plants look like. I'll be going over Nepenthes, Drosera, Pinguicula, Sarracenia, and Venus flytraps. I'll also be going over distinctive features of the baby plants of different species. Okay, let's get into this. So first I'm going to start with Nepenthes. Nepenthes are carnivorous plants that catch small insects using their pitchers, which are these brightly colored pots. They lure their prey in using bright colors, sweet smells, and even UV patterns. But how do they look when they're babies? Surprisingly, the baby plants still use pitchers with bright colors, sweet smells, and UV patterns to attract prey. They kinda just look like tinier versions of the adult plants. One thing to note is that baby pitchers on these plants often have hairs coming out of the back of their lids. All baby pitchers also have wings, which are these two frilled extensions of the leaf. These are designed to help small insects climb into the pitcher like a ladder, even on species that don't have wings on lower pitchers. Overall, Nepenthes just look like smaller versions of the adult plants. Let's move on to Pinguicula. Pinguicula are small succulent plants with sticky glands on their leaves. When insects land on them, they get stuck and digested by the plant for nutrients. They can get pretty big and are known for being easy to propagate and grow. Let's see what they look like when they're younger. These are small Pinguicula ana. I don't know if you can see, but they still have sticky glands on their leaves to catch insects. These individuals are leaf pullings that I did about a month ago. At this size, they won't flower either. One thing to note though is that some of the leaves are conjoined or malformed. Like some of the leaves here look like it's 3 leaves combined or 2 leaves combined. But that's pretty much all. They just look like tiny versions of the adult plants. Now for the other sticky plants, sundews. They use sticky mucilids to catch small insects, which they slowly wrap around and digest for nutrients. They come in a variety of shape and size, and there's more than 200 species today. Let's start with pygmy sundews. These sundews are smaller than usual, but in the winter they produce gemmae, which are clones that spring off the plant and produce new plants. You can see the little plants formed by gemmae just look like the adult plants, but they're a little bit slimmer and have white fuzz. One thing to note is that they have a lot less dew and more white fuzz at the center than the adult plants. But overall, young pygmy sundews just look like smaller versions of the adult plants. Now let's check the other sundews. Baby sundews lack most of the features of the adult plants, like this Drosera binata, or these Drosera liceae. The leaves are a lot shorter and they get red more easily from sun. All baby sundews kinda look the same too, no matter what species they are. Here's another example of pygmy sundews. So all normal baby sundews kinda look the same regardless of the species. Okay, let's move on to Sarracenia. These are one of the most popular plants in cultivation and are really easy to grow. They work great outdoors in temperate regions and require a dormancy period. Let's see what the babies look like. Here's a tiny one of the species I just showed you. These, like most carnivorous plants, just look like a mini version of the adult plants. But this doesn't apply to all species. This is Sarracenia maroon, a cross between Sarracenia purpurea and Sarracenia rubra. Adult plants have large, hairy, maroon pitchers, as the name suggests, but this is completely golden yellow. Adult pitchers also have veins, but these younger pitchers don't. Okay, so let's finally move on to Venus flytraps. Probably the most famous carnivorous plant out there. They catch prey by snapping shut their mouth-like leaves. But do they snap shut the same when they're babies? Well, they actually do. In the short, I tested this out by feeding them ants, and the smaller traps, no matter how small they are, still closed. They're a bit slower than the adult ones, but they still closed. These also just look like mini versions of the adult plants. I don't know how many times I've said that in this video. One thing to note is that the midrib in the middle of the leaf, the photosynthetic leaf, is actually a lot less prominent than it is on the adults. The teeth on the traps are also a lot smaller than the adult ones, and match the scale of the traps. So yeah, there you have it. I've listed most baby species of carnivorous plants, and given you what they look like, the distinctive features, and what they do. I hope you found this video useful or entertaining. If you did, please like or subscribe. I'm about to hit 50 subscribers. It might not seem so big, but it's a huge milestone for me. I spent a lot of time growing these plants and making these videos, so it will be really helpful if you subscribed. If you want to find more information on these plants, check out other videos on my channel too, because I have lots of information. So yeah, bye for now!